Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to a motherfucking podcast that I like to call This and That, a podcast. Well, you all know the spiel by now. Welcome, yes, another episode of this stupid podcast where I terribly read shit. Oh yeah, don't worry, the terrible reading is still in effect. Oh yeah, but we got some sports to talk about. Of course, another presidential debate went down. We'll talk about that. And some motherfuckers want to assassinate Joe Biden. So we'll get into that. But let us start with some sports. And Brian Flores, mid-season, decides to bench Ryan Fitzpackrick for young rookie Tua Tagovailoa. Yep. Ryan Fitz is riding the pine once more. This is on the ESPN page on Facebook. This is what Ryan Fitzpatrick had to say on the Dolphins' decision to start Tua. My heart just hurt all day, which I don't blame him. It was heartbreaking for me. I've been a starter. I've been benched all kinds of different ways, but this one really just more so than any of them. I just felt fully committed and invested and felt like it was my team. So yeah, I can see what he's saying. You know, the Dolphins are 3-3. In my eyes, it's a stupid fucking call to make. I think Tua should have sat the whole season, no matter how the season goes. You know, let Tua learn. Maybe start him, depending on how the season's going. Maybe start him week 16 or 17. You know, towards the end of the season, something like that. But honestly, yeah, that sucks. Fitzmagic was performing some Fitzmagic there, I would say. But we'll have to see how Tua plays here in the big leagues. I know he had that pretty bad injury, so let's see if he ain't injury prone. I know that's one big problem is that Tua is pretty injury prone as well. So, but we'll see how this goes. We'll see how it plays out. You know, it sucks. It really does suck. I wanted to see Fitzmagic finish out the season, but I guess no, we're not going to get that. But anyways, moving right along here, the NHL postpones the 2021 Winter Classic and All-Star Game. The NHL has postponed the 2021 Winter Classic and the All-Star Game due to the ongoing unnecessary resulting of the coronavirus, which, let's face it, Rona has fucking ruined a lot of shit. This is from ESPN.com. The Winter Classic was scheduled to be played at Target Field in Minneapolis on New Year's Day, featuring the Minnesota Wild and St. Louis Blues. Excuse me. The Florida Panthers were scheduled to host All-Star Weekend on January 29th and 30th. The league said it intends to return to both Minnesota and Florida for the signature events in the near future. Holy fucking goddamn. But yeah, that fucking sucks. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy watching the Winter Classic. Fan participation, both in arenas and stadiums, as well as in the ancillary venues, whatever the fuck it is. We'll go with that. And events that were staged around the Winter Classic and All-Star Weekend is integral to the success of our signature events. NHL Chief Content Officer Steve Mayer said in a statement, "Because of the uncertainty as to when we will be able to welcome our fans back into our games, we felt that the prudent decision at this time was to postpone these celebrations until 2022 when our fans should be able to enjoy and celebrate these tentpole events in person as they are always intended. We are also considering several new and creative events that will allow our fans to engage with our games and teams during this upcoming season. The NHL still said it is planning to begin the 2020-2021 season on or around January 1st. NHL general managers have a meeting scheduled for Friday where several details are supposed to be sorted out, including whether the 7 teams that did not make the NHL's extended 2014 postseason this summer can get extra training camp time and preseason games. There is still no date for when training camps will open. The NHL told teams they could open their training facilities for voluntary workouts on October 15th. However, there is a 19-page document of protocols that takes into account social distancing as well as increased health and safety measures. A team needs notice from at least 5 players before reopening its facilities for voluntary workouts, and a maximum of 12 players can be on the ice at the same time. Players and staffers who have participated in voluntary off-season workouts must proceed a negative COVID-19 test upon arrival and will be tested at least twice weekly. Anyone who has tested wow, I can read. Yep, terrible reading. There you go. Anyone who has COVID-19 must also undergo a cardiac screening, baby. Yep. The 2021 Winter Classic was going to be the NHL's 31st outdoor game and second for the Wild. In 2016, Minnesota hosted a Stadium Series matchup against the Blackhawks at TFC Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The Panthers, meanwhile, were getting ready to host their second All-Star weekend, having previously hosted the 2002-2003 season. So yeah, Rona fucking some things up here in hockey, which sucks. I know they can't play the season in a bubble. There are too many teams to fit in 2 arenas, so I don't know, man. We'll have to see how this coronavirus all plays out and shit, you know? It fucking sucks. This Rona shit needs to go away, and it needs to go away for good, which I don't think it'll ever go away for good, but it needs to go away, you know? But speaking of the Rona, NFL had 8 new positives among 2,459 players tested last week. This is coming from yahoosports.com. As each new positive test results in concerns about whether a team could have an outbreak that wreaks havoc on the NFL schedule, it can be easy to lose sight of the fact that an exceedingly small percentage of players have tested positive for COVID-19. According to the data released by the NFL and NFL Players Association today, last week 15,167 tests were administered to 2,459 players. Only 8 new positive test results were preceded. That represents a positive rate of 0.3%, far lower than the American population as a whole. The NFL also had 11 confirmed positive tests for team personnel out of the 5,340 people tested in a total of 23,713 tests. That represents a positive rate of 0.2% for team personnel. From August 1st through October 17th, a total of 47 players and 71 other personnel have been confirmed positive. More out of the 450,000 tests administered. Excuse me, I'm keeping that in. Fuck you. Haha. NFL had 8 new positive among 2,459 players tested last week. Originally appeared on Pro Football Talk. So, honestly, the NFL has had a couple Rona scares and a couple moments where it's like, all right, maybe we should pause the season here. But it has come to that point a couple times. Even with the MLB this season, you know, a couple teams had Rona problems here. So this Corona shit, it's taken a toll on a lot of people here around the world. You know, and it's taken a toll on a lot of businesses, you know. And honestly, I think it's going to be quite a while until we see this world get back to complete normalcy. Like complete normalcy for before Corona was even a fucking thing. You know, it's going to take a little while. We're going to have to ease into it, you know? It's just not as simple and as quick as people may think it is, you know? It takes time, you know? But speaking of getting in the process of getting back to normalcy, the New Orleans Saints to allow in person fans starting this weekend. This is from our good friends at thehill.com, and this was written 3 days ago. I'm recording this on October 23rd, so this was recorded on October 20th. The New Orleans Saints will allow fans in the indoor Superdome for the first time during the coronavirus pandemic, beginning with their Sunday game. Officials announced Tuesday. The NFL team will allow season ticket holders to claim 3,000 tickets for the game against the Carolina Panthers, according to a press release. Saints officials and New Orleans Mayor LaTonya Cantrell, she's a Democrat. Ooh, and she's a black Democrat. Good for her. And it said something about, decided upon a phased and deliberate plot approach to allowing in-person fans in the Superdome. As long as local health guidelines allow, the Saints plan to host 6,000 fans for the November 15th game against the San Francisco 49ers and the November 22nd game against the Atlanta Falcons. They expect up to the capacity to 15,000 for the December 20th game against the Kansas City Chiefs and the December 25th game against the Minnesota Vikings if health restrictions allow. So yeah, basically try to get more and more people in the Superdome. The mayor's office will be ensuring that gatherings in the central business district in French Quarter on game days follow city coronavirus restrictions, according to the release. The Saints and the Cantrell's office will urge fans to wear their masks in public, maintain good hygiene, and practice social distancing. It is imprehensive, as noted, that everyone do their part to make sure all of the progress made by our community in our fight against COVID-19 is not lost and we have no setbacks. This plan is based on creating a healthy and safe environment for our fans to arrive, enjoy, and depart Saints home games safely, the release stated. Several NFL teams, including the Tennessee Titans, Arizona Cardinals, Philadelphia Eagles, and Jacksonville Jaguars, allowed a limited number of fans to attend the games last week. The NFL teams with fixed roofs have not hosted fans, but some with retractable roofs, such as the Dallas Cowgirls, I'm going to call them the Cowgirls, fuck you, and the Houston Texans have had in-person fans for games while keeping the stadium roof shut, according to NOLA.com. Last week, Saints officials were reportedly considering playing in Louisiana State University's outdoor Tiger Stadium in order to host fans in person. So, like I said, another little hint of normalcy right there, but hey, we're taking it one step at a time. Like I said, it's a process that we cannot rush, and it's a process that needs to be held and taken care of delicately. But anyways, moving right along here. This is a segment I haven't really done here on this podcast, but it's one that I'm gonna do. Just catching up on my life and all that. Breaking shit down, whatever the fuck that means. But just updating you guys on what the fuck's been going on, and honestly, a little bit's been going on in my life. I've been dealing with this fucking house bullshit. Oh yeah, that was a good one. My dad and I have been looking for a fucking house, and we finally found one. Like I said, I'm recording this on October 23rd, so October 29th is when the inspection is supposed to happen. And October 29th determines whether I get the fuck out of this tiny ass apartment or not. You know, that would be wonderful. But hey, I just gotta remain positive here, you know? Just gotta keep my head held up high, and if there's a fucking God up there, I'm not gonna lie, I'm an atheist, so I don't really believe in that God bullshit, but maybe for once I can reach out to God and ask, hey, if you're there for me, man, please, for the love of God, get me out of this fucking apartment, please. For those who don't know, I live in a tiny-ass one-bedroom apartment with my dad. Oh, you live with your dad? Yes, but I don't live here for free. I actually pay as well. You know, I pay my share for the bills as well. I actually pay for the internet. You know? Hey, you know, I gotta have that good internet, you know? The family ain't gonna pay for it, so fuck. Hey, I'm paying for that shit. So, hey, there you go. That, and I'm helping pay for the apartment a little bit as well. So, but honestly, this house isn't that bad. It's pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie. It's a 4-bedroom house. So basically my dad would be downstairs. He's got his own bedroom downstairs, and upstairs is 3 bedrooms. So basically when you first go upstairs, there's a bedroom to your right. It's a small little room, so that's probably going to be the guest room. Then at the end of the hallway, there's like 2 bedrooms, like right next to each other, like right at the end of the hallway. So I'm going to have those 2 rooms. Yes, I get 2 bedrooms. One's just going to be my normal bedroom, and then another one is probably going to be like a little man cave / recording studio. So when I finally get a bigger room here, I do want to try recording the podcast a whole lot more. You know, that's honestly one of the main reasons why. I know it may seem like an excuse, but it's just this house bullshit's been on my mind. And ooh, that's number 3. Hold on. There's number 4. And it sucks. I really do hope that this inspection passes, which when I saw the house and when I saw like the heater and all that BS downstairs in the basement, I thought everything looked fine. It looked all functional. You know, the house had power, you know. If I do get the house, I may have to put a house tour video up on my second channel, but I got that, and yes, surprisingly for those who don't know, I've never had a job in my life, and I'm 23 years old. Can you believe that shit? But yeah, I've been also looking for a job here, a little part-time job to bring in some more motherfucking ching-a-ling-a-dang. You know what's cool about this fucking house is that there's a garage, and above the fucking garage is like a little apartment. Shit, it needs a lot of work, but it's like it's got a fucking apartment above the garage, and you know, I really wanna turn that into my fucking crib there, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm just hoping that this inspection goes through. But other than that, what else has been going on in my life? No, just been dealing with this house bullshit. Looking for a little part-time job. I don't know. It's really been about it for that, but hey, what do you know? It's debate time. Yay. So last podcast talked about the first presidential debate. The second one got canceled. So cuz Trump didn't want to do it virtually cuz he's a fucking crybaby. Wah. But we had a third presidential debate. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch it that much. Like, I was watching the Eagles game, which that was a pretty fucking kick-ass game. Like, I was mainly watching the Eagles game, so I missed, like, the first hour of it, but I caught, like, the rest of it, which, honestly, this brings up into our first topic of debate talk, and it was a whole lot better debate than the last one. And why I say that is Trump was more well-behaved. Oh, yeah. Not as much interrupting from the orange Cheeto man as the first debate. Like, oh my God. This debate was a little bit more leaned back, you know? Not too much happened. Of course, there was the typical Trump bullshit and lies, but, surprisingly, Trump behaved tonight. And I was like, what? I was expecting round 2 of another shitfest, but no. We actually got somewhat of a presidential debate tonight. But we have Trump saying this. He's the least racist person in the room. Oh, boy. This is coming from yahoonews.com. President Trump said that he was the least racist person in the room, at least one person of color, while talking about race and Black Lives Matter during the final presidential debate of 2020 on Thursday. Trump and his Democratic opponent Joe Biden had contentious and at times awkward exchange when asked by debate moderator Kristen Walker about Black Lives Matter and the talk that black parents have with their kids about the police during the Race in America portion of the debate at Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee. Mr. President, you've described the Black Lives Matter movement as a symbol of hate, Walker said. You've shared a video of a man chanting white power to millions of your supporters. You've said that the black professional athletes exercising their First Amendment rights should be fired. What do you say to Americans who say that kind of language from a president is contributing to a climate of hate and racial strife? Trump said when he first... There's a water bottle. Hold on. There we go. There was a water bottle under my chair. I'm in a tiny-ass fucking corner. I forgot to say when I was updating you guys about my life and all that. I'm in a tiny-ass fucking corner of this apartment, so... But the one bedroom in this apartment is upstairs, so I'm downstairs in the living room. But moving on, as I was saying, article goes on to say, Trump said when he first heard of Black Lives Matter, protesters were chanting, "Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon," and he thought it was horrible. The phrase was said at a Black Lives Matter organized protest in 2015, according to CNN. Okay, according to fucking CNN. And we all know how reliable CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, and all them motherfucking news networks are. So get the fuck out of here. But it is not an official chant or slogan of the national organization or any of the local chapters. Obviously, Mr. President Trump is not informed on the BLM movement, as the movement is a movement for equality, peace, and injustice. Equality, peace, and justice. Equality, whatever. You all know what I mean. Equality, peace, and justice. There you go. Again, apparently Mr. Trump is not too educated on the BLM movement, and apparently he needs to educate himself on said movement. Article goes on to say, I got criminal justice reform done and the prison reform and opportunity zones. I took care of black colleges and universities, Trump said. I can't even see the audience because it's so dark, but I don't care who's in the audience. I'm the least racist person in this room. Which is an absolute load of fucking horseshit. Okay. We all know he was probably one of the most racist motherfucking people in the room. If not the most racist motherfucker in the room. You know? I'm the least racist person. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. That's a load of bullshit. And of course, Trump supporters are going to be like, oh no, he's right. Look up his racist tweets. I'm pretty sure that there's a bunch of them out there. There's probably still a bunch of racist tweets of his on his Twitter. There's like plenty of fucking racist shit on there. It's buried in there by all the other bullshit he said, but I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of news networks and a bunch of websites that have documented his racist shit he said on Twitter. Yes, Donald Trump is a racist man. For those who did not know that, he said some racist shit. We have probably all said some racist shit. I'm not gonna lie, I've said some racist shit. On my YouTube live stream, I've even said the N-word, not N-I-G-G-R, but N-I-G-G-A. I'm gonna admit I've said that multiple times on my YouTube live stream, but of course my excuse is I'm stoned as fuck. So, but article, of course, goes on to say Walker, an NBC News correspondent who is in the room, is a black woman. Oh, there we go. Okay. Don't you dare. Okay. I thought I was going to play a fucking video. Excuse me. Before asking about Black Lives Matter, Walker asked Biden and Trump if they understand why black and brown families have to prepare their children for politically hostile encounters with law enforcement because of the color of their skin. I do, said Biden. I never had to tell my daughter if she pulled over, put both hands on the top of the wheel and don't reach for the glove box because someone may shoot you. But a black parent, no matter how wealthy or how poor they are, has to teach their child don't have a hoodie on when you go across the street, making sure that if you get pulled over, just say yes sir, no sir, hands on top of the wheel. Trump said he also understands, but then argued that no one has done more for the black community. And of course, typical fucking Trump having to praise himself. Obviously he has to throw in something praising him, you know, because it's all about him. That's what the man's all about, is Trump. Everything has to be exactly about Trump, nothing else but Trump, you know? Which is absolute bullshit. You know, Trump has done jack shit for the black community. And if you look, with the exception of Abraham Lincoln, nobody has done what I've done. Criminal justice reform, Obama and Joe didn't do it. I don't even think they've tried because they had no chance at doing it. Yeah, okay. This man's fucking delusional. Donald Trump is fucking delusional. But, it didn't end there, though, huh? Biden denies unethical behavior involving his son, Hunter, during questioning at debate. Yeah, of course, Trump is still fixated on the Hunter Biden bullshit. Which, of course, has been discredited. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden on Thursday. Oh, by the way, this is from the Hill.com, our good friends at the Hill. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden on Thursday denied any unethical behavior related to his son Hunter Biden under questioning at the second presidential debate with President Trump. Trump went on the offensive as he had telegraphed over allegations that Joe Biden was aware of his son's foreign business dealings. I have not taken a penny from any foreign source ever in my life, Biden said. Asked by moderator Kristen Walker if it was inappropriate or unethical for Hunter Biden to pursue business interests in Ukraine and China while Joe Biden was serving as vice president, Biden refuted the notion. Nothing was unethical, Biden said, citing the testimony during Trump's impeachment hearings where witnesses said his son's work did not influence U.S. policy. Biden also disputed that his son made money doing business in China, seeking to turn the question on Trump. The former vice president highlighted the recent reporting from the New York Times that Trump had a bank account opened in China. The president continues his attacks on Hunter Biden, highlighting his personal struggles in the military and questioning why he had a job at the Ukraine gas company Burisma, despite limited, I don't know if that's how you say it, but fucking limited energy experience. He's the vice president of the United States, and his son, his brother, and his other brother are getting rich. They're like a vacuum cleaner, Trump said. The president has fixated on unproven, exactly that, because that's what the fuck the man does. The president has fixated on unproven allegations of corruption against the Biden family in the final stretch of the campaign, seizing on a New York Post report that found Hunter Biden sought to connect a Ukrainian businessman with his father while he had served as vice president. Biden's campaign had denied the meeting was ever an official schedule and questioned whether the narrative is a part of a Russian disinformation campaign. One of Trump campaign's guests at Thursday's debate was Tony Bobolowski, who alleged the reporters that he had proof that Joe Biden had talked with Hunter about his son's business dealings and that he would be cooperating with the FBI and two Republican Senate panels on the matter. Two Republican Senate panels. He cited messages from 2017 after Joe Biden had left office. And of course there was an article I had from that, but So basically, it wasn't as chaotic as the first debate, but there was some things. This is coming from PolitiFact.com. This is PolitiFact fact-checking Donald Trump, Joe Biden in the final presidential debate. They fact-check both candidates starting under COVID-19. Trump basically said, "We are rounding the turn on coronavirus. We are rounding the corner." And apparently that this actually is false, typical Trump lie. False. Rounding the corner suggests that significant and sustained improvements are being made in the fight against the virus, and that's not the case according to data. Of course, Trump ignores that because it's fake news. Fake news. The number of coronavirus cases is climbing once again. After falling consistently between late July and mid-September, cases are now at their highest point since early August, with almost 60,000 new confirmed infections a day. That's only about 10% lower than the peak in late July. And this is coming from USA Facts, the chart that PolitiFact has provided. And let's see. October 21st, 18.1 new COVID cases. Oh. So yeah, they give you a graph, and yeah, it is on the rise. Like I said, again, I'm getting this from PolitiFact.com. It's under fact checking Joe Biden and Trump debate. But This is new coronavirus cases per 100,000 people, USA Facts. Hospitalizations today are lower than in previous spikes, but in the past few weeks there have been a modest increase. The positivity rate, which measures what percentage of tests come up positive for the virus, is also going up. Again, during the past few weeks, higher positivity rates are an indicator of community spread. The one encouraging change is that since a peak in August, deaths have fallen fairly consistently due to a combination of factors, including improved understanding of how to treat the disease, yet deaths have settled in at about 800 a day, keeping total deaths per week in the United States above normal levels. But let's see, a lot of Trump ones. Let's see. Here's another Trump one. This is also under coronavirus. Trump. There was a spike in Florida that is gone. There was a spike in Texas that is gone. There was a spike in Arizona that is gone. And of course, PolitiFact saying that this is inaccurate. Over the summer, Florida, Texas, and Arizona experienced record surges in cases that later eased, but now they are seeing all new surges. Over the past week, the New York Times tracker notes that the daily average of new infections is up 29% in Florida, 16% in Texas, and 55% in Arizona, compared with the daily averages 2 weeks earlier. And if I'm not mistaken, those are Republican states. Yep. Let's see. Here's an inaccurate one from Joe Biden. This is coming from healthcare. Biden, not one single person with private insurance lost their insurance under Obamacare unless they chose they wanted to go to something else. This is inaccurate. Biden telling lies in the debate too. This is a variation of a claim that earned President Barack Obama our Lie of the Year in 2013. The Affordable Care Act tried to allow existing health plans to continue under a complicated process called grandfathering, but if the plans delivered even a little, they would lose their grandfathered status. And if that happened, insurers canceled plans that didn't meet the new standards. No one determined with any certainty how many people got cancellation notes, but analysis estimated about 4 million or more had their plans canceled. Many found insurance elsewhere, and the percentage was small out of the total. There's number 5. Out of a total insured population of 262 million, the number of people with canceled plans was less than 2%, however. That still announced to 4 million people who face the difficulty of finding a new plan and the hassle of switching their coverage. So, let's see if I can find another one. Here we go. Another one that Biden was not correct on. This is under economy. Biden. Trump has caused the deflect with China to go up, not down. And apparently this is mostly false. The U.S. trade deflect with China in goods and services, the broadest measurement of the balance of trade, was smaller under Trump in 2019, the most recent full year than it was in any of the final 3 years of the Obama administration, in which Biden served as vice president. Biden's campaign pointed to a narrower measure, trade in goods only, which shows that the trade deflect with China has generally been higher under Trump than it was under Obama. But even here, the U.S. made progress under Trump in 2019, whittling down the goods defect. And of course, we have one that distorts the record. This is from Trump. Biden tried to hurt Social Security years ago. This distorts the record. Biden has offered a variety of Social Security plans. Starting in the 1970s, he called for an increase in monthly benefits, then for a 1 year freeze, then floated rising the retirement age. Then backdate changed and how benefits would increase today. He calls for higher monthly checks for the oldest beneficiaries. In the 1980s and 1990s, Biden spoke in favor of Social Security freezes to rein in the spending and reduce the defect. Biden's point was that no part of the government would be exempt from the effort to balance the budget. As vice president during the Obama administration, Biden generally focused on protecting Social Security and reinstating moves to privatize. So, and then, let's see. This one is race and criminal justice, and this is no evidence. Of course, Trump making up bullshit. Race and criminal justice. Trump says Biden called black Americans superior dictators when he wrote his 1994 crime bill. And apparently, there's no evidence of this. Because why? Well, Donald Trump lies. That's why. No evidence. In 1993, Biden gave a speech on the Senate floor in which he said the country should focus on young people who had no supervision or opportunities. Otherwise, they'd become the predators 15 years from now. He said, Biden did not single out black Americans. Madam President, we have predators on our streets, and society has in fact, because of its neglect, created that, he said, according to the congressional record. The term super predators. Super predators. Okay, wow. So let me read that again. Trump says Biden called black Americans super predators when he wrote his 1994 crime bill, you dumb fuck. The term super predators refers to something Hillary Clinton said in 1996 when referring to a gang of kids. She did not specifically say super predators were black Americans, but decades later, Clinton apologized for that comment. So again, Trump being Trump. Let's see, we'll do a couple more. Oh, here we go. Ooh, hold on. That's number 6. 6 times I've burped. I'm counting how many times I've burped during this podcast. That's number 6. Trump. Not since Abraham Lincoln has anybody done what I've done for the black community. Historians despite this. Ooh. The claim overstates Trump's own standing within history. Historians say President Lyndon B. Johnson, a skilled legislator from his years in the Senate, I can read, I'm a retard, deliberately crafted his civil rights agenda and pushed it through Congress with personal precision. Whatever the fuck that word is. Brain.exe not responding. President Harry Truman moved to discongregate the military, and even President Richard Nixon, who was captured on tape making racist remarks, advanced the discongregation of schools and disaffirmative action and employment. I probably butchered those words, but oh well. Let's see. Let's do... There's like a list of topics that they talked about. Let's do one more. Let's do campaign. The last Trump bullshit lie, which again, that's all the man does is lies. They spied on my campaign. Trump thinks Joe Biden spied on his campaign. Can you believe that shit? But turns out that no. This, in fact, was false. No evidence has surfaced to suggest that Obama or Biden ever spied on Trump's campaign. Or did a wiretap on Trump Tower, or inherited or misled in the FBI's work looking into possible coordination between the members of Trump's campaign in Russia. The wiretapping claim has been dismissed as understandably by lawmakers from both parties, intelligence officials, and the Justice Department. Unsustainability, whatever. Wait, excuse me, what's that word? Unsubstantiated, you dumbass. Has been dismissed as unsubstantiated by lawmakers from both parties. Well, there you go. As part of the Russia probe later led by... That's number 7. Led by Special Counsel Robert Mueller, the FBI investigated 4 men in the Trump campaign's orbit. A report from the Justice Department Inspector General Marshall Horowitz concluded that the investigation was justified and not publicly motivated. A separate probe attorney, General William Barr, commissioned into the unmasking of Trump National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, concluded without any criminal charges or finding wrongdoing, according to news reports. So, there's the debate for you. And this final debate article is coming from our good friends at thehill.com. And this is 5 takeaways from the final Trump-Biden debate. President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden squared off in a combative and restrained debate Thursday night that gave voters their final chance to size the candidates up before heading to the polls November 3rd, which I'll be voting through mail-in ballot. Trump dialed it back in Nashville after his disruptive previous showing in the first debate in Cleveland last month resulted in handwriting from within his own party. But there were still plenty of clashes as the candidates got personal with slinging attacks focused on their families, race, and immigration. Here are takeaways from the last presidential debate of 2020. And why not? Let's see, how long is this? Yeah, we'll read all 5. Why not? So the first one is Trump changed his tone, and I'm not going to lie. Trump did change his tone. He was more well-behaved, you know. He didn't interrupt. And as the article goes on to say, Trump was mostly on his best behavior Thursday night, which, again, was true. He was. He kept quiet. Following a disruptive debate performance earlier this month that turned off many voters, the president really interrupted Biden and was polite to moderator Kristen Wallace of NBC News. He was a good boy. Who's a good boy? The commission on the presidential debates prepared for a different outcome, arranging for each candidate's microphones to be shut off so their rival could speak uninterrupted to questions directed towards them. So, that's probably one of the main reasons why Trump shut the fuck up, is because the microphones were shut off. Of course, I if I'm not mistaken, he was bitching about that. Like, that was one of the main reasons why he didn't wanna do a virtual debate. He's like, oh, they're gonna cut my microphone off. I don't want them to be. You know, him bitching and complaining as always, but the president clearly came into this debate determined to allow Biden more time to speak, a strategy his advisor hoped would expose the Democratic nominee as confused or having lost a step. But that really didn't happen. While there were moments where Biden appeared shaky, there were also instances in which he met the moment, such as with his emotional response to Trump administration's policy of separating parents from their children at the border. But overall, the president's calmer demeanor likely helped him to a degree. Trump appeared more polished and prepared this time around. He also seemed relaxed while still getting in plenty of attacks against Biden over his long record in Washington. and his past support for a crime bill that has disproportionately increased black people, among other things. The prior presidential debate was it basically was a shit show for Trump and sent party leaders into a blind panic. Republican lawmakers will leave this debate feeling slightly more optimistic about their chances, although the public opinion survey shows they're still very much in danger of facing heavy losses on November 3rd. So, of course, the next one is both candidates did land punches, both candidates shot them shots. Each candidate had strong moments on Thursday night. Palestinians will naturally argue that their preference candidate was the clear winner, but for any remaining undecided voters, it was tough to see either man as obviously dominant. In some of the most contentious areas, they essentially fought to a draw. On the pandemic, for example, Biden blasted Trump for a failure to take responsibility and for the huge death toll in the United States, but Trump defended himself in a more focused way than usual, referring to the many European nations that are experiencing a coronavirus spike and seeking to cast Biden and Democrats generally as willing to seek wide-scale shutdowns. All he does is talk about shutdowns, Trump said of Biden. Trump sought to put out Biden under pressure over the Hunter Biden and his business dealings, but the former vice president parried efficiently by immediately denying any wrongdoing and referring to Trump's long-standing failure to release his tax returns. This pattern was followed most of the night in what was, by Trump's standards, a remarkably orthodox debate. Republicans and Democrats will focus on their preferred candidates' best moments. In boxing terms, both men landed solid jabs, but no knockout blows. And of course, the next one is Trump goes after Biden's family, but we all know that. But we'll skip that one and we'll go right to number 4. This is Christian Walker shown as moderator. The moderators this presidential debate season have not had a good time until Thursday night. Fox News' Chris Wallace was perceived to have lost control of the first presidential debate. USA Today's Susan Page forced criticism for being too passive in vice presidential encounter, and C-SPAN Steve Scully never even got to moderate a second scheduled presidential debate. Scully was suspended by his network for falsely claiming a controversial tweet was the result of a hacking. After the debate was canceled for unrelated reasons following the president's positive COVID-19 test, Walker of NBC News had faced attacks from the president in the days leading up to the debate. In fact, Walker was widely hailed on social media and even from the stage by the president for the way in which she conducted the final debate. Walker kept things moving and pressed the candidates deeper into a number of policy areas without ever being an obstructive presence or seeking in to make himself the star of the show. It was a smooth and professional performance from Walker that was all the more impressive on such an high pressure octane. And basically the last one is, did Trump do enough? And the answer is, fuck no. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is it for the debate talk pretty much. Like I said, overall, it was more of a relaxed debate, Not too much going on, but hey, we will see. But moving on from that, a couple motherfuckers want to assassinate Joe Biden. Oh, God. This is coming from thehill.com. North Carolina man arrested with van full of guns and explosive had plans to assassinate Joe Biden. Oh, my God. Let's see. A North Carolina man who was indicted last month on charges of child pornography. Oh, so this guy's a fucking pedophile as well. Well, Also had plans to commit a mass shooting during the holidays and assassinate Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden. A federal grand jury indicted 19-year-old... Oh my God. 19... So basically the fucking kid threw his life away because of child pornography and just being a straight up fucking idiot. Wow. As much as I hate Donald Trump, you don't fucking see me wanting to go out and assassinating the motherfucker, Just, why? Why though? A federal grand jury indicted 19-year-old Alexander Hiltil Tresman, who also used the Atlas Alexander as Tress in September on charges of knowingly possessing an image that contained child pornography, according to the Daily Beast. When authorities investigated Tressman's electronic devices, they discovered a bounty of disturbing information. So this guy's basically a fucking sicko, as it is already, by the sounds of it. Found among Tressman's social media accounts and devices were images of various firearms he owned, plans to commit a mass shooting on Christmas or Black Friday, references to child pornography and child rape, and multiple internet searches about Biden's home. These dumb motherfuckers have never heard of a thing called incognito mode. That would come in big handy next time you want to do something like that. Just saying. Don't do stupid shit, kids. But yeah, motherfuckers, it's called incognito mode. You ever heard of that? Along with this information, authorities learned that he had purchased an AR-15 in New Hampshire. Let me say that again. Along with this information, authorities had learned that he had purchased an AR-15 in New Hampshire. Now, what I want to know is, did he purchase it legally or illegally? That's what they don't say here. That's what sucks. And traveled to a Wendy's within 4 miles of Biden's home. He had also written a checklist ending with execute, and under one of his social media accounts, he had posted a meme with the caption, "Should I kill Joe Biden?" Oh my God. Why are people fucking stupid? Evidence gathered seemed to suggest that Tressman had made some tentative plans to leave the country at one point with a doctored Polish passport discovered on his hard drive, and emails to a Canadian law firm asking about obtaining Canadian citizenship. Oh, okay. According to a court order obtained by WBTV in May, a white van parked in a local bank's parking lot was reported... Sorry. That wasn't a fart. That was me moving my hand across my chair. Oh, whatever. Was reported by the bank's employees to the police. The officers had the van towed, and during a search of the vehicle discovered several firearms along with explosive materials, drawings of swastikas, and more than $500,000 believed to be Tressman's inheritance. Holy shit! 500,000 motherfucking dollars? Yeah, I'd take that in a heartbeat. The Kannapolis Police Department returned to the bank when Tressman showed up and inquired about the whereabouts of the van. Tressman was taken into custody on charges of carrying a concealed weapon in the car he used to drive to the bank. Authorities discovered more firearms as well as multiple state IDs, which one of had his Atlas Alexander as Tress. So, the wanting of Joe Biden dead is not over yet. Another fucking right-wing maniac. A gun nut. Guy's a hardcore gun enthusiast, I guess. Secret Service charges man with threat to kidnap and kill Biden and Harris. Oh my God. What the fuck, people? This guy is from Maryland. Oh boy. So we had a guy from North Carolina and a guy from Maryland. I wonder, could these two possibly be connected? Like, could these guys know each other possibly? Like if you think about it, like, the motherfucker from North Carolina and the motherfucker from Maryland could be, like, racing to kill Joe Biden first. The first one to kill Joe Biden. Who will it be? North Carolina or Maryland? You know? I don't know. But this article is coming from the Hill.com as well. Our good friends from the Hill. And the article says the Secret Service filed charges against a Maryland man after he threatened to kidnap and kill Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden and vice presidential nominee Kamala Harris. A criminal complaint filed by the agency Wednesday said a man identified as James Dale Reed on October 4th approached a house in his hometown of Frederick that had Biden-Harris lawn signs posted and left a handwritten note dealing graphic threats against the candidates and their supporters. Oh my God. So this guy's basically a fucking Trump loony. The man was identified after the resident's video doorbell captured Reed allegedly leaving the note at the home's doorstep, according to the complaint. Reed allegedly threatens in the letter to severely beat Biden, the point of death, and shoot Harris in the head with a Glock 17 pistol. The letter also includes a graphic threat of sexual assault against Harris. The letter says Biden-Harris supporters would also be targeted. We have a list of homes and addresses by your election signs, the letter reads, without clarifying who constitutes we. We are the ones with these scary guns. We are the ones your children have nightmares about. Oh, God. Sounds like a fucking crazy loony Trump supporter. The Secret Service criminal complaint did not detail any steps Reed or anyone else took to fulfill the alleged threat. The agency said it focused on Reed following an anonymous tip. He first denied writing the threatening letter when he was first interviewed on October 13th, but later admitted to authoring it after providing elimination palm prints and a handwriting sample on October 15th. He later told authorities this will happen, referring to threatening comments citing the tense political climate. Reed is charged with the federal offense of threatening a major candidate, which can be punished by up to 5 years in prison. Enjoy, motherfucker. He's also facing state charges of threatening mass violence and voter intimidation. The Maryland resident has come to the Secret Service attention in 2014 after making a threat then against a person under its protection. The Biden campaign did not immediately respond to a request for comment from the Hill. So again, basically fucking Trump supporters being fucking Trump supporters. You know? What the fuck do you expect? But, moving on, Mr. Trump had a little temper tantrum while on 60 Minutes. Trump posts full 60 Minutes interview showing him walking out. President Trump on Thursday posted his full interview with 60 Minutes ahead of its scheduled airtime in an apparent attempt to undercut the news program after he walked out on the interview, bristling at questioning from journalist Lindsay Stahl. The president posted a nearly 40-minute sit-down to his Facebook page with the caption, "Look at the bias, hatred, and rudeness" on behalf of 60 Minutes and CBS. Tonight's anchor, Christian Walker, is far worse, Trump added, referencing the NBC News anchor who will moderate the presidential debate in Nashville, Tennessee. Trump abruptly ended the interview with Stahl before a scheduled walk and talk with the president and Vice President Mike Pence. During the interview, excuse me, what is that word? What? Excuse me. He bemoaned? Bemoaned. Okay. He bemoaned that Shell opened the interview by asking if he was ready for tough questions, calling it no way to talk. He complains repeatedly that Stahl did not ask tough questions to Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden, to which Stahl responds that she did not interview Biden. Trump corrects himself to say the interview with Biden. I think we have enough. We have enough, Trump says in the clip, moving to end the interview. I think we're ready for Vice President now, a production assistant says off camera. Okay, that's enough. Let's go, Trump says. Basically, it sounds like Trump being a fucking giant baby because he doesn't like hearing the truth. You know, basically, he doesn't like people exposing what he has to say. CBS News said earlier this week that the White House agreed that they would tape the interview for archival purposes only. The White House's unprecedented decision to disregard their agreement with CBS News and release their footage will not deter 60 Minutes from providing its full and far contextual reporting, which presidents have participated in for decades. CBS News said in a statement after Trump posted the interview, 60 Minutes, the most watched news program on television, is widely respected for bringing its hallmark fairness, deep reporting, and informative context to viewers each week. Few journalists have the presidential interview experience Lindsay Scholl has delivered over her decade as one of the premier correspondents in America, and we look forward to audience seeing her third interview with President Trump and subsequent interview with Vice President Pence this weekend, the statement read. The interview will air Sunday alongside another with Biden, who was interviewed by correspondent Nora O'Donnell earlier this week. The interview is combative throughout, with Stahl often interjecting to point out the basic facts and question Trump on some of his claims and rhetoric. Again, so basically Trump not liking that, it's not right, not true, you know? Basically Trump complaining and bitching because, well, he was called out for his bullshit. And we've established that Trump does not being called out for his bullshit. It's established. We can't put things we can't verify, Schultz tells the president after he repeats his unproven claim that the Obama administration spied on his campaign. Which, again, that shit's unproven. That shit's not true. There's no evidence. But, of course, Trump is going to be Trump and not give a shit, basically. You know? Because, let's face it, the man doesn't care. Trump at multiple points claims that Scholl has discredited herself by not covering allegations in the New York Post about Hunter Biden's business dealings after Scholl said 60 Minutes could not verify them. Basically meaning, again, no proof. You know, Trump basically wants to take control of the interview and spew his bullshit and rhetoric, you know. That's what he wants to do. And it's obvious that Scholl was not letting him do that, you know. And of course, Trump was not liking it. He basically wanted to take control of the interview, which Scholl was not letting him. And he wasn't having it, you know. Scholl reportedly tells Trump that his allegations that Hunter Biden influenced his father have been discredited by Republican-led Senate committees, and she pushes on him on his insistence that his administration has a health care plan ready to release despite its refusal to release any details on such a plan. You know why? Because he doesn't have a fucking plan. The only reason why he's saying he has a plan is because, again, he's pandering to what his supporters want to hear. He will spew anything. And I mean anything. And his supporters will eat it the fuck up. For those who don't know, and probably y'all don't really give a shit, but I started an Instagram page called The Cult of Trump Supporters or something like that. You know, The Cult of Trump. If you search The Cult of Trump on Instagram and Facebook, you can find that page. I basically post shit I find in the comments that Trump supporters have said and all that. Also, if you found any ridiculous bullshit that Trump supporters have said, feel free to submit it to me and I will give you a shout out. But basically, the article goes on to say, at the beginning of the interview, Stahl focuses on the Trump administration's response to the coronavirus and the rising cases in the United States, asking him to acknowledge the increase. And then he basically, of course, praises himself. I think we've done a great job with COVID, Trump says. Sir, excuse me. And then Stoll basically replies, says, "Sir, excuse me, cases are up in about 40 states," which, of course, Trump didn't like that, because the man doesn't like facts. He doesn't like hearing the truth. He only wants to hear the bullshit he spews. Trump acknowledges that the increase in cases, but attributes them to only an increase in testing, a claim that public health experts have said is misleading, which... Here we go with a bullshit Trump spew. Oh, God. Because we do so much testing. The fake news media loves to say cases are up. The fact is we have done a very good job. Again, going on to praise himself and then basically blame the fucking media. Let's read that again. Because we do so much testing, the fake news media loves to say cases are up. But the fact is, we have done a very good job. The man just does not want to accept the fucking truth. That's what it sounds like. And again, he goes back to praising himself. It's like the man does not want to accept the fucking truth. He doesn't want to look bad. The president also continued to insist that the U.S. is turning the corner on the virus, a claim that is out of step with his top health officials warning about the risk of resurgence. We have turned the corner. We understand the disease. We understand the elderly, and we are taking care of them. Okay. Excuse me. That's number 8. At one point, Trump. Yes, his name. Goddamn. Yes, his name is now Trump. At one point, Trump. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Trump grows agitated with Stahl's characterization of his recent plea to suburban women to please like me at a campaign rally. Trump insists angrily that he made the remark in jest. Of course. You said the other day to suburban women, will you please like me? Stahl says in a pleading voice. And of course he denies it. Oh, I didn't say that. That is so misleading the way you said it. I say jokingly, suburban women, you should love me because I'm going to give you security and I got rid of the worst regulation. Trump says, okay. See, the way you said that is why people think of you and everyone else as fake news, Trump continues. Of course, he goes on to continue to attack the reporter. I said that in a joking way. The way you have it is like I'm begging. Trump's grievances with the media have been intensified down the stretch of the presidential campaign. That's just one thing about Trump that proves how weak-minded he is. He cannot take criticism. Anything the media says hurts his little feelings. You hurt my feelings. Oh, the media didn't praise me. It hurt my feelings. That's basically Trump. He targeted Fox News anchor Chris Wallace over his moderation of the first debate with Biden. He lashed out at C-SPAN anchor Steve Scully before he was set to moderate the second debate, which is ultimately canceled, and he declared NBC's Savannah Guthrie's handling of a town hall event last week held in Florida. Trump has spent the days leading up to Thursday's debate attacking Walker based on the donations her parents made to Democrats. So basically, fucking Trump being Trump, you know? But anyways, enough with Trump and all that. Moving on here, this is coming from CNET.com. Oh boy. Tesla full self-driving beta lands, but it's about to get more expensive. Here it is, but it comes with some frightening disclaimer language. Oh boy. Tesla's long-promised self-driving mode reached its first customers in beta form this week, and we've already received a look on how the system operates on local roads thanks to a Twitter user. So far, the owner reports no issues and seems impressed with the system's capabilities. The video comes from Twitter user, Brandon, we'll call him Brandon, who shared a clip of the full self-driving mode operating while monitoring around local roads. The beta requires the driver to keep their hands on the wheel still, but the car handles everything we see pretty well. The tablet-style screen shows the roads and intersections marked and provides insight into what the car sees while it's driving. To the right, the screen splits to show traditional map navigation. The owner added in the Twitter thread that he ran full self-driving on narrow, unmarked city streets at night. Personally, I'd like to see the video of the car handling itself in more traffic. As we continue to see more of the full self-driving mode, and while the company pushes it to more owners, Tesla CEO Elon Musk announced the system will become more expensive, though the options price has fluctuated over the years, but right now it costs $8,000 to equip a new Tesla with the feature capabilities. Damn, $8,000. According to a tweet from Musk, the price will rise by around $2,000 coming this Monday. If you want to save a couple grand, you will need to pony up for the future by the end of this weekend, in other words. So basically, Tesla is embracing the future here. Fuck. Well, anyways, as we end this episode off, Russian hackers infiltrated state and local government networks, officials say. Oh boy. Russia hacking into this bitch. Hackers stole information about how governments secure their systems and which vendors they buy products from, according to the FBI and Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. Oh boy. Russia coming at it. This is also coming from CNET.com. Russian state-sponsored hackers have targeted computer networks at dozens of state and local governments and successfully infiltrated some of them. Intelligence experts at the FBI and Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security agencies said in a joint statement Thursday that hackers also took data from at least 2 servers, the agency said. According to the announcement, hackers with the group, sometimes called Energetic Bear, and associated with the Russian government, have logged into the government administrator accounts and then moved around in sensitive systems. The stolen data included additional passwords and information about how each government uses security features like two-factor authentication and password reset requests. It also included information on how to print access badges and which vendors the government partners with. So, basically, Mother Russia stealing our fucking information, bruh. Damn. But anyways, that's basically gonna do it for this episode of the This and That podcast. But yeah, like I said, my life has been getting in the way of my ability to record podcast episodes. I've been worrying about this fucking house. Like I said, the day I'm recording this, it's October 23rd, so I have like 6 more days until I officially find out if I'm moving out of this tiny ass fucking apartment. Oh my god, I'm like stuck in the corner. Before I leave this apartment, I officially do move out. I'm gonna probably try to do like a little apartment tour video before I leave to show everyone what the apartment actually looked like. You guys have seen a little bit of it on the channel, on my main YouTube channel, Boston3233. But yeah, like I said, as soon as I settle down into my new house, as soon as I get things settled down, I get my room, my equipment, and all that set up. I gotta try to find a desk. I have to try to see if I can't buy a mic stand so I can put my microphone on a fucking actual mic stand. Because right now I have my microphone sitting on the microphone box, sitting in front of me. I don't know, but yeah, like I said, when I get settled down, hopefully finally find a house, finally get a little part-time job. I'm going to try to save up some money and, try to save up to get a good computer, save up to get a better setup, so I can, because I want to get a dual monitor setup. I kind of have one, but it's basically my laptop screen acting as my second monitor. But yeah, I want to get like a real dual monitor setup. Like, I don't know, but I'm trying to find like a little part-time job to bring in a little extra ching-a-ling-a-dang-a-dang. But hopefully I can find that. Hopefully I can start bringing a little extra revenue as well, because I want to do some more live streams on my main channel. If you haven't subscribed to that, that's Boston3233. But like I want to do more content on that channel. I want to, make more videos, do more sports videos, and I want to get that channel going. It's been hard in the current environment and the current situation that I'm in right now. It's just been fucking hard to really do that. So maybe when I get moved into this new house, I get a job, I finally get a little bit of extra income. I also want to do some product reviews from the dispensary, like do some oil reviews and weed reviews, reviewing different strands and different kinds of weed and shit. The fucking dispensary prices here in Massachusetts are fucking expensive. 1 gram of oil or wax or shatter is $60 fucking dollars. Shit's expensive. But it's why I'm also trying to get a fucking medical card. I'm trying to do a lot of things. I know my life may not seem all that busy, but to me, I get a little too much on my plate right now. I want to focus on my YouTube. I want to get that going as well. So that, and I want to record more podcast episodes too. I want to start posting this podcast more frequently. I know I only, it feels like I post it monthly, but yeah, I really do want to post this podcast more frequently and more often. So like I said, when I and hopefully if I get this fucking house, like I said, October 29th, I'll know for sure if I'm officially moving out of this small ass fucking tiny apartment, which, like I said, I'm trying to keep positive vibes, man. I'm trying to keep everything positive. I'm trying to keep it all in a positive mindset, because I feel if you keep your mind in the gutter and you keep it in a negative mindset, then, it just, the chances of you getting what you want isn't gonna really, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, the chances of you wow, yeah, you get it, you get what the fuck I'm trying to say. Basically, I'm saying the chances of you getting what you want to happen are basically slim if you think it negatively. But, if you put yourself in a positive mindset, just like think positively, like, all right, hopefully I just gotta think positive. But Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's it. That's all I got for now. Like I said, I'm living life here, doing my thing, trying to get going. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's it for now. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.